welcome everybody. We're glad you're here today. Glad you're with us. And we're going to, exciting show. Doc, we're going to talk about the days of Noah, as it was in the days of Noah. We're going to, now already people are getting around the radio, they're getting around the YouTube channel. Oh, this is going to be exciting. They're going to talk about the Nephilim.
And flying
saucers. Folks, we're going to straighten out some of the controversy, some of the confusion.
Yeah, we're going to attempt to.
And now, whether you folks listening want to believe us or not, that's your choice. But we're going to tell you what the Bible says about the days of Lot and the days of Noah.
Yeah.
And because they're almost the same thing is said about both of them. So, Doc, let's start out. I have this book. She'll put this up for you that are listening on YouTube. And those of you on the radio, you'll have to imagine this in your head. I'm reading out of a book called Bible Prophecy Terminology, written by Evangelist Dan Goodwin and Dr. Charles Hiltemiddle. We define terms in this book that we use all the time. And Doc, just so happens you wrote this chapter. And so I'll have to correct some of the mistakes as we go along in here. But here's the first usage of as the days of Noah. It's in Matthew 24. And I believe it's verse 37. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It says, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Doc, where's the Nephilim in that passage?
They're not in that passage, and they're not in any passage in the Bible.
That's right.
Because that's just a Hebrew word that's been translated giants in the King James Bible properly.
But where's the giants in this passage?
None there.
They're not mentioned. The days of Noah has nothing to do with angels lusting after human women and marrying them, having children.
Well, the parallel passage is in Luke chapter 21, and it's in Luke 21 when he quotes basically verbatim what you just read, and then said, "And also as it was in the days of Lot."
Actually, I think it's Luke 17. At least that's what's
Luke
here.
17.
Is it Luke 17?
Yes.
Let me read that. "And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. There shall be fallen angels running around in flying saucers and angels marrying human women." Oh, wait a minute. That's not there, is it?
No.
"They did eat, they drank, they married wives." The exact same thing, just worded a little different.
Yep.
Married wives. Now, this is not talking about angels. This is talking about the people of that day.
Talking about humanity. "They
were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all."
Mm-hmm.
Now, likewise also, as it was in the days of Lot, verse 28. Mm-hmm. They did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold. Now there's a few things added to the count of Lot.
In other words, life was continuing.
Yeah, they bought. By the way, nothing sinful about any of these things. Nothing sinful about eating. Nope. Nothing sinful about drinking. We're not talking about alcoholic now. We're talking about drinking. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about not giving away in marriage, giving your children away to be married. Nothing. That's normal life.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. Life is going on like normal.
Then he says here about Lot, he says, also adds to that, it says that they did eat, they drank, they bought and sold, they planted and they builded. Mm-hmm. Planted gardens, builded buildings.
Yep.
"But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all." So they were destroyed in both instances. It rained rain in Noah's day, but it rained fire in Lot's day.
Yep.
"And thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed." There is absolutely nothing in these passages that relates to angels,
right?
Fallen or not fallen.
Well, as the days of Noah, so people run back over into the 6th chapter of the book of Genesis where it talks about that.
Yep.
And that's where they insert this supposed fallen angelic involvement with humanity. Yep. Jesus is not using any of that kind of thought. Jesus is giving you the example of two people that lived righteously in an unrighteous world that was on the verge of judgment. That's the purpose for it. He wasn't drawing attention to anything other than the unrighteous world and righteous people living in it.
Right, and that's Genesis 6. And so
Yes.
I'm going to turn there, and I'm going to read a little bit of that. And for those of you watching on YouTube, she'll put my book, The Great End Time Distraction, up. And if you're struggling with this thing about Genesis 6 and who the sons of God were, if you're one out there that's struggling with that, and you're not sure who them sons of God were, you need to go on my website, or go to Protestant Spotlight, go to my website, my bookstore, and you need that book, The Great End Time Distraction. It is life-changing. It's only, 200 pages? 200 pages. Easy to read, right on the bottom shelf. It will forever change your thinking, and you'll begin to understand what the Bible really means in Genesis 6, and it'll be a big help to you. So let me read Genesis 6 real quickly, and then we're going to come back to Noah. But Genesis 6 does not say what people tell you it says. So let's read it. And it came to pass when men, and I circled that word men, it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth. So there's our context, Doc. Yep. Men multiplying. Yep. And daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Absolutely nothing there about angels, Doc.
Right.
To say that sons of God is speaking about angels is not right.
But that's what they try to say. But if they just, then the secret is letting the Bible be its own dictionary.
Yep.
And realize one of the rules of interpretation, no scripture is going to stand out in violation of the rest of Scripture.
Now, in the book, The Great End Time Distraction here, I have a chapter where I give all 11 instances of that phrase in the King James Bible, the phrase sons of God, not son of God, plural, sons of God. Yeah. It's only used 11 times. 10 of those times, all 10 of them times, it's speaking about a saint, someone who's a Christian, a believer, a child of God. One of those times it's used metaphorically, and that's Job 38.
Well, John chapter 1, I mean, it came to his own received not, but to as many as received him, to them gave he power to become
sons of God. Well, that's John 1:12. Exactly. That's one of the 11 places. A couple of them are in Job chapter 1 and Job chapter 2. Yep. And it talks about that there was a day when God showed up and the sons of God were there, and Satan came also among them. It is my personal opinion, Doc, that is paradise where the saints are. I could be wrong about that, but I'll tell you what.
But it is not that the sons of God are angels.
That's right.
Because in Hebrews, he said, at any time have I ever called an angel my son.
Yep, Hebrews 1:5. Unto which of the angels said I at any time, thou art my son? Never any time.
Right.
Within the 6,000 years of human history.
That's letting the Bible speak for itself instead of me putting my thoughts into
the Bible. So let's finish this. That was verse 2. Genesis 6 verse 2 says that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Now, if there were angels involved here, God just ignored them. Yep. He just flat out ignored them, and he's going to put blame on man and woman, and he's given the angels a pass here. Yeah. He didn't in Genesis 3 when Satan was involved with the Garden of Eden scene. Mm-hmm. He was he was cursed. Yep. And but they're not even mentioned here because they're not here.
They're not a part of it.
So he says, my spirit shall always strive with man, for that his days are, he is also flesh. His days shall be 120 years. I won't get sidetracked.
It's all about men, isn't it?
Yeah. Then it says in verse 4, there were giants in the earth in those days. All right, in those days that we're talking about, there were giants there. But then he goes on to say, and also after, and I circled that word after.
Right.
After what? After this union between the sons of God and the daughters of men, guess what? There's still giants in the land. And when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children, not giants, not Nephilim, children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown, and God saw that the wickedness of fallen angels was, men. Was great. Never mentions age. If they were part of this, they would have been mentioned here.
Well, they're not a part of it, and it's just man wants to always make sure that he can be seen as somebody that knows more than you do. So finally here at the end of the Laodicean church age, we have discovered something that, anyway.
Now you give on page 81 of the terminology book, you give what that passage is really talking about.
Yes, I have
and
a book
you have
on it.
a book and a DVD. She's
I have
going
a
to put
book
that
and
up.
a DVD on As the Days of Noah.
But basically, this is
help.
what Jesus is referencing here.
Yeah.
He's saying, in the days of Noah, they were eating and drinking, buying and selling, marrying and giving in marriage, building things, planting gardens. Nothing wrong with any of them things. But what the Lord is pointing out is that they weren't watching. They didn't realize judgment was around the corner. They were living like they had for their whole life ahead of them.
And not realizing that, but there's nothing, and so here's what he's saying. In the last days, just before I come, the second coming is what he's talking about, they're going to continue to do that. They're going to be living just like that, not realizing judgment is coming. So he's using two men as an example of living right or wrong as a saved individual in your testimony and involvement in an unsaved world around you. You can be one or two.
Yeah.
You can be a Lot or you can be a Noah. And look at the result of their family.
Yeah.
That's what Jesus is talking about.
Yeah, and that's all in his DVD and his book. You ought to go to Process Spotlight and click on Doc's Bookstore and look for his Days of Noah DVD and book. It'll be a great help to you. And so, long story short, Doc, what Jesus is saying is, just as in Noah's day, nobody was looking for the judgment. They're ignoring it. In fact, they denied. No, it's not going to happen. They probably denied God as well.
Well, that's what, that's one of the signs Peter said. They'll say, well, where is the promise of God? Well, everything's like it was in the beginning. If you believe everything's like it was in the beginning, you've missed something.
Yeah. And so what he's saying is, don't be like that.
Yeah.
But he's saying that it is going to be like that. He said, just as it was in Noah's day and Lot's day, people were denying God. They were denying anything was happening. They were denying there was anything wrong with their lifestyle.
Just going on living in sin as if it's okay, no consequences, not realizing that
fire was going to fall.
7 days after they got on the ark, it's over. And the day he's out of the city, Lot's out of the city, here it comes.
Yeah.
Not really. They're living, and that's how it is today.
Yeah. So it's a sign. Jesus is saying, when it's like that, get ready. I'm at the door. And and it is like that. And by the way, it's not just lost people. And it's Christians he's talking about. It's saved people. And it's preachers. I hate to say it. It's preachers. Preachers are some of the biggest scoffers out there. Not all of them. There's some good men out there. And I'm not saying all the scoffers are bad men. They don't understand prophecy. They don't see the urgency.
Most of them are caught up in just living life, getting the best out of this world, rather than working toward the best that's the world to come.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was kind of a fast-paced little discussion, but we did the best we could to get it out there for you folks. And so understand what the days of Noah really means in the Bible. Nothing to do with fallen angels and UFOs. It's got to do with us not having an urgency, not thinking anything's coming, thinking we got forever to live down here. All right. Until next time, keep your eyes on them skies.